After the world rejected the initial reboot of the classic Fantastic Four in 2015, Marvel will once again attempt to create a perfect film that would capture the fantastic qualities of the Fantastic in their upcoming film Fantastic Four that will be released in the year 2024, with the star-studded characters that would definitely make a cameo in the movie. Given that Mr. Reed was already seen in the recent Marvel movie Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, what should the fans expect in this entirely new reboot? Here is what we know so far. When The Rise of Silver Surfer did not meet the expectations of its fans, it was up to Josh Trank to reboot the classic superhero franchise. He was tasked to direct the 2015 reboot, and boy, did the world expect a lot from it. But despite the high regard and praise the movie was given before its launch, it did not even merely reach the world's expectations from it. It was a colossal failure for everyone, to say the least. It was much more worse for 20th Century Fox, given that they lost $100 million in terms of production cost and sales. The plot was an easy one to get the audience's attention. I mean, isn't scientific mystery adventure something everyone should have at least seen in their life? Another factor that everyone thought would boost the movie was the fact that it was a Marvel classic, and therefore, nothing could go wrong with it. But with the direction the production team decided to go with, everything went downhill. Disagreements between the studio and Josh Trank led to the demise of this highly potential movie. The restrictions and conflicts led to Trank bringing a gun all throughout the production. With the disaster that was happening backstage, the flow seemed too flat and boring for a Marvel movie. And it is totally obvious from what is on Rotten Tomatoes page. There were a lot of changes that were imposed in the castings, productions, and even scripts that got too messy. Initially, Trank envisioned that you hit that like and, the reboot to have parts. And there was a rumor way back around 2015 to 2016 that a sequel was going to be released around 2017. But with the fate that the first movie got, the sequel movie was not able to delight anymore. The aftermath of 2015's Fantastic was really tragic, but little did fans know that years later, Kevin Feige would shoulder up and attempt to reboot this classic.
You don't know anything about what's coming.
What is coming?
Fans went haywire when MCU's Fantastic Four were shown in the recently released Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The whole world was teased with a little scene where Reed Richards, which was played by John Krasinski himself, was pretty crazy, since fans have been fan casting this man for years to play this specific character. The short but curiously interesting sneak peek of Reed Richards' character was definitely a delight for the MCU fans, since this is a pretty obvious telltale that the Fantastic Four will be soon arriving in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Before the cameo, there was nothing the fans knew about the cast, plot, and production details about the said reboot. But the confirmation from Kevin Feige himself during the San Diego Comic-Con in 2019. Ever since his confirmation about the reboot, fans have been sharing their speculations about who is who and which Marvel heroes and Avengers might cameo during the movie. Everyone started to do their own fan casting and theories, but no one really knows what would the actual movie look like. No one also knows when will this be released. But after 3 years in the exact same convention, Kevin Feige has shared more details about the movie. At the San Diego Comic-Con in 2022, Kevin Feige announced Marvel's Phase 5 and Phase 6, and the reboot would be the first installment of Phase 4. Despite the difficulty of living up to the fans' expectations for the film, given that the previous reboot was a comical disaster, it is up to Marvel and its director to create something exciting about the movie. Fans are pretty hyped up with the announcement, but there is something more exciting about this movie. And the announcement is just the tip of the iceberg. In terms of production, there is nothing concrete given by Marvel themselves. Initially, Kevin Feige announced that Jon Watts would be directing the movie. Jon Watts, who gave life to the insanely loved franchise of Tom Holland's Spider-Man films. But earlier this year in April, Jon Watts revealed that he left the project, and a suitable replacement for him is still up for grabs. Now, who could be the possible director? Well, here are a few fan theories. One of the possible directors that could lead the film would be Peyton Reed. Peyton Reed is famous for directing the Ant-Man movies, as well as the Mandalorian Season 2 finale. The reason why he could be the director is that he revealed that in 2002, he actually pitched a Fantastic Four film that was up for production. However, there was no call given to him. With enthusiasm and how ecstatic Reed could be about this production, he might as well direct it, don't you think? But apart from Reed, there is one director that fans seem to hope could direct the movie. It is John Krasinski himself. With the confirmation that Krasinski would be playing Reed Richards himself, there is also a huge possibility that Marvel has already tapped him to direct the film. Krasinski has directed the phenomenal film A Quiet Place, wherein he played a character as well. If we were to weigh the possibility of who among the two directors would direct the films, the chances are still pretty unclear, given that there are still 2 years before the release date, and the possibilities are endless. Now for the cast. The film is actually star-studded, with Krasinski already in the cast as Mr. Fantastic himself. It was also confirmed that his wife in real life, the award-winning Emily Blunt, would be partaking in the film as Susan Storm, or the Invisible Woman. Zac Efron will join the cast as Sue's brother Johnny Storm, aka Human Torch. Jai Courtney would be starring as Ben Grimm, aka The Thing. Apart from the star-studded cast, the possibility of other Marvel heroes and possibly Avengers being in the film is again highly possible, given that the movie will be set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who knows, maybe Doctor Strange himself would be a cameo in the movie, given that Mr. Fantastic also made a cameo in his movie. The possibility of more stars joining the cast is totally possible, and the fans can do nothing but hope that their fan castings would actually make the cut, or decide to take on a role in the movie. How about you? Whom are your fan cast and why?
How long until he's in? 2 minutes.
This immense analysis of actors and how they are perfect for the role is never boring and always amazing, don't you think? The plot of the movie would, of course, follow the adversaries of the 4 protagonists and how they became their hero personas and how they could overcome the problems given to them by Dr. Doom himself. The possibility that the general premise of the movie would be similar to the previous reboots is highly possible, and fans should expect this. We are expected to see them fight against Dr. Doom, the main antagonist of the movie, and the comics that will be the main source material for the upcoming movie. No trailers and no news about the plot, but the fans are already on the edge of their seats for it. During the SDCC 2022, Kevin Feige already gave a specific release date for the movie, alongside the news of the upcoming sequels of other Marvel movies, including Black Panther: Wakanda Forever and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and many more. The Fantastic Four will be released on November 8, 2024, and we are only 2 years from seeing it. It seems so near, but the possibilities of new additions and changes is still possible. So Marvel is definitely making the fans wait in excitement. That is all the Fantastic 2 reboot. What are your thoughts about the details of the movie? Are you excited? Are you satisfied with the cast? Who do you think should be directing the movie? Now, that is a lot of questions, don't you think? But if you liked the video and enjoyed watching Marvel films, why don't you join us as we embark on the negative zone to get a scientific breakthrough by smashing that subscribe button as well as the notification one. We should be excited for you to accompany us on this journey. See you in the next video.